honor and privilege to welcome a team from the Zambia Association of Manufacturers, led by the President, Mr. Ashu Saga. On our side, Mr. President, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the Deputy Secretary of the Cabinet, Finance and Economic Development, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Finance and National Planning, the Acting Commissioner General for the Zambia Revenue Authority, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry, the Director General of the PPDF, the ZDA team that's here, of course the teams from the Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry as well as Finance, the State House team as well as the media. On the side of ZAM, just to really in the interest of time, we'd like to recognize the eminent captains of industry who are represented here from various companies. Of course, Ms. Ashu Saga, who's the president of ZAM, but also from Caribbean Beverages. We have Ms. Muntanga Lindunda, who's the ZAM Secretariat, essentially the Chief Executive Officer. Kim Otobi, Umoyo Natural Health Chief Executive Officer. And you can just share, you put your hand up so that we can recognize you. Mr. Muhammad Umar, Farmanova Zambia Chief Executive Officer. Mr. Ruben Silvapandian, Strong Pack Zambia, Chief Executive Officer. Mr. Mukubesa Muliande, British American Tobacco, CEO. Mr. Daniel Ball, Forest Fruits Africa, Founder and CEO. Ms. Thais Kavinato, Zambian Breweries, Country Manager. Mr. Phil Daka, Trade Kings Group Executive Director. Ms. Aisata Guiro, Amai Bliss, Founder and CEO. Mr. Cletus Chelo, Zambeef Products Group Tax Manager. Ms. Monica Msonda, Java Foods, Founder. Mr. George Mwamonwa, Gionsi Engineering, Founder and CEO. Ms. Rashmi Sharma, Geo of Africa, Co-Founder and CEO. Daniel Maimbo, Fertilizer, Seed and Grain, FSG, Executive Key Accounts Manager. Mr. Eugene Chungu, Zambia Sugar PLC, Corporate Affairs Head. Mr. Kangwawalia Zamefa, Managing Director. Mr. Gurav Vijayvargiya, he's my friend, but I was mess up his name. 260 Brands, CEO. Mr. Richard Franklin, Zam Leather, General Manager. I hope we've not left anyone out. If we have, please, if you can just put your hand up and you can introduce yourself, just in case we've missed anyone. If not, we'll certainly proceed. Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you for your presence in this meeting. At this point in time, Mr. President, I'd like to hand over to the President of the Zambia Association of Manufacturers, Mr. Ashu Saga, to begin his opening remarks. Thank you.
Mr. President, good morning, everyone. All protocols observed. Your Excellency, on behalf of the Zambia Association of Manufacturers, I extend our deepest gratitude for granting us this opportunity to engage you on matters critical to growth of our sector and our country and its economy. The meeting reflects your unwavering commitment to fostering private sector-led growth and your recognition of manufacturing as a cornerstone of Zambia's industrial and economic transformation. We do not take this engagement for granted, Mr. President, and remain committed to working collaboratively with your government to unlock the sector's full potential and the potential of our country. I believe all our members have been introduced, and in my remarks also, I would like to point out the openness that has been displayed over the years, Mr. President, for us to engage you personally and your team. It's something very different that we have not really experienced in the past, and it's a recognition that we must also make very clear on a platform like this, that engagements like this are new to us to an extent and are very welcome in the development of Zambia. So I would hand back to you, Jito. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. President of ZAM. I need to make that distinction. And indeed, Mr. President, the reason you called this meeting is really recognizing and appreciating the fact that manufacturers are very key to the development of our economy. And because of you, we've experienced quite a surge in non-traditional exports. Traditionally, Zambia has been known to export largely minerals, but because of the diversification agenda that's currently at play, with great partners like you, we're seeing quite a growth in that. And of course, the spirit of this meeting, as we always like to guide, is that this is a family meeting. So openness is important. Being as frank as possible around the issues that you experience as manufacturers should be brought to the table in order for the President and the team that's with us here today, who are more than capable to addressing each of those challenges. This approach is something, as you've rightfully mentioned, Mr. President of ZAM, is new in terms of government, in terms of an active listening presidency that is engaging the private sector, recognizing you as true partners in development. With that being said, Mr. President, I'd like to hand over to you, sir, for your welcoming remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chito. Let me welcome the ZAM delegation through the President to State House, your State House. This is a people's house. I happen to work from here, but this is your house. So you're truly welcome here, as always, and also to recognize my colleagues through the Deputy Secretary of Cabinet and the media. Thank you for being present in this part of our meeting. ZAM President, as always, we're delighted to have community members, business community members, stakeholders in our country. One economy, different sectors, different investors, businesses, but one economy. I think that's important. I want to emphasize that because sometimes we try and focus on issues of competition, Mr. President, which is okay, to drive our businesses, to drive our revenue statements, success in there. But many times we miss the importance attached to us working together as one team in this Zambia family. And the more we work together, each one doing things that I may call their knitting, specialisms, we will do better. In our agenda, which you know by now, I'm sure you are tired of hearing this message, growth, economic growth and more growth is our focus now. Having dealt with largely a number of challenges that we confronted at the beginning of our public service, which you know very well, such as the declining economy, minus 2.8% GDP growth. The story you know very well, the debt burden, which we set out to dismantle, not to dismantle per se, but to restructure, to create headroom. You know that story very well. Our focus on restoring the rule of law, our focus on restoring the role of the mining sector, bringing back old mines which were out of commission. You know them very well. Kalengwa, 47 years out of commission, 23 years out of commission. KCM was in liquidation, something we would never have done ourselves, because you don't take those decisions and send the wrong signals about expropriation. That's what it was, no question about it. And we restored that. We are surrounded by a horde of litigation upon litigation. And as you know, Mr. President, this President declared that we will not do business in court. We have no business to do in court unless we are dragged there, and it's absolutely necessary. I hope this business community will also, these manufacturers will take that approach. Think of the time you spend in court. Think of the costs, the fees, disruption to your businesses. I would like this economy to borrow a leaf, take a leaf from this government's approach of not doing business in court. Amongst yourselves, you have issues, normal. I think sit down with each other. And then we can use that time, resources, into growing our businesses, your businesses, and therefore our economy. So I'm sure you've seen Mupani itself and the increase in production. Now you saw what we were doing in Kansanshi 3-4 days ago. Tremendous. Mr. President, Chairman, that mine should have closed 2 years ago. But we engaged. This government was in court in London with First Quantum for 11 years. 11 years. And no additional investments were going to take place until the change of government. We persuaded our friends in First Quantum not to walk away. After the change of government, Mr. President, today is 22nd. We are 2 days away from 4 years in government. 2 days, literally. And we were able to restore that situation, came out of court, mutual agreement, resolved our issues, big issues. That litigation could have led us as an economy bleeding over $2 billion. And we put that aside. I'm underscoring this, Chair, President of ZAM, so I can persuade you and your members to take that approach. And we didn't just come out of that difficulty. We also agreed a new investment program, which includes S3 in consumption, $1.25 billion. And there you are. Now you have a mine which has an additional life of 25 years. Consequences are clear. Positive consequences, benefits, jobs, everything are clear. As a consequence of that, Mr. Chairman, we also have a new investment in the nickel mine, which is the largest nickel mine on the African continent, within these 4 years. And that is important to us. But all of this now, working on all of these issues, yes, never foresaw the drought, Mr. Chairman. We didn't. Disruption, then the delays in the debt restructuring. But now we are here. We are here, Mr. Chairman, President, we want to work with yourselves, as always, so we can focus on the growth ticket, so we can work to lower the cost of doing business. You see the pressure we are putting on the increased exports. This year we are knocking on the doors of 1 million tons of copper. First time in the history of this country, 1 million tons. First Quantum alone is moving to around 450 to 500,000 metric tons. Our target of 3 million tons, people thought we were dreamers. It's in sight. So imagine we had just 10 lookalikes of First Quantum. What does that mean? To surpass our target. And we already have a couple of those, 3, 4, which can upgrade to that level. So it's real. It was not fiction. But, Chair, your members have a critical role. Yes, the export drive, non-traditional export drive revenues, forex revenues, improves the supply side of dollars, helps us to get the kwacha to a certain level. Sometimes exporters don't like it, we know that, because the kwacha revenues come down. We understand. But you need a stable exchange rate. That's what we're working on. Mr. Chairman, our job, together with you, is to continue pushing inflation to come down. We believe if nothing goes wrong, an exogenous variable, we'll be in a position to achieve a single-digit inflation by December this year, worst case January next year. That creates an environment, improved environment for you and your members. For you, our members. Let me change the language. You're our members. To reduce your cost of doing business. To plan better. Mr. Chairman. We do our part. You do your part. Then we can create the jobs. Most needed jobs. For the young people especially. We can create more business opportunities. We can increase treasury revenue. I'm not a fan of high taxes myself. This is something I'm fighting within government. I'm a fan of growth, because when we achieve a higher growth at reasonable taxes, the Treasury will receive more money. I think that goes without saying. But we also are going to do something that we believe you have a part to play. We want you to produce more. We want you to expand. Consolidate what you're doing, colleagues. Expand. Then you're contributing to the growth and more growth story. We would like you to deliver your goods on time. because some of your goods are raw materials to somebody. So deliver on time. I'm saying to my colleagues in government, 3 principles now in the procurement process. One is the right price. And I'm saying the same to you. Right price. Because we're scaling down inflation, Mr. Chairman. The kwacha is stabilizing. People forget that the government that came before us found the exchange rate at 5 kwacha to $1. 5 kwacha to $1. And ended up at 24 kwacha per dollar. That's where we found it. Then we're now down to 23 after 4 years. The story is clear, what's happening there. So we expect you to respond to the downward trend in inflation, downward trend in stability in the kwacha, Mr. Chairman. You, our members of Zambia, people of Zambia expect that you respond to the reduction in the fuel prices. How do you respond? Inject a fair pricing in your products and services. When the fuel price goes up, you instantly increase your prices. You don't even talk about a lag time. Instantly. When the fuel prices goes down, no, we have old stocks. Old stocks are not moving for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, Mr. Chairman. This is a partnership we would like to see. Because when we inject a fairer price, it means that the whole economy begins to reduce the cost of business as intended, cost of doing business, and therefore the cost of living, as intended. I argued with my colleagues that deliver quality. Price must be right. The quality of what we procure must be right. Same applies to this side, my right-hand side. Quality. Please. This is the argument people are making, that our local manufacturers' quality levels are lower. I don't buy that argument. We shouldn't buy that argument, we in this room, both sides. So let's work on it. Let's deal with those issues. So, then deliver on time, which I've already mentioned. That's what I said to them. Procure at the right price. The quality must be right. Delivery must be on time. As you know, most of those who were not delivering when government bought from them includes your members. We found a situation where government procures from your members, our members, my right-hand side, left procures, right-hand side deliver, sometimes never delivered. Sometimes delivered late, sometimes delivered at a higher price. These are issues we must discuss as members of one family. So here is what we are doing to respond to these issues. It is through interactions like this, Mr. Chairman. But your government has taken a decision. I think you need to pay attention to this. And I want to say it in the front of the media. To procure from our local manufacturers. Positive discrimination. There was a lot of noise when we introduced this, but it's settling down now. So with your help, working together, the issues that we have already covered, we would like you to help this side of your house to ensure that they procure from this side when this side is able to produce the goods. I think that's a special situation, which you haven't had again from the government. This president wants that to happen. So, Mr. Chairman, I wanted you to reflect on this as we go into a closed-door session, that this government will support buying from our own businesses because they create jobs. First, they protect, they keep the jobs that are there already. Secondly, as they reinvest, the story I've given you, First Quantum, more jobs are created, which is the government's agenda. It's your agenda. We don't employ the youth, We have a problem, Mr. Chairman. And then you fund the public purse. This thing is self-fulfilling. It's a prophecy which is self-fulfilling. The more business we give, government is the largest single buyer in the domestic market, generally, unless you're an exporter. But if you have a domestic market that you supply, direct or indirect, government is a large buyer. So the large buyer is here to say, I know there's resistance, I know, but by working together, that's why we have PDU, we have PPDF, so that we can support our own businesses by buying more from these businesses, our businesses. I tell my guys, my colleagues in government, that these are our businesses. We don't have to be equity shareholders. These are our businesses in our economy. Let's support them. I think I would like to end at that point. I think when we move towards that, we'll have fulfilled your own revenue, targets. You have fulfilled invariably the quality of your balance sheets. You will have delivered on your shareholders' expectations and other stakeholders, employees, suppliers, goods and services. Equally, you will have driven the economic growth and growth agenda. Clearly, isn't it? I hope I'm talking to somebody here. Simple and straight. So this side should not have a negative view of this side. I know it because I've sat on this side. I know the feelings. I used to feel it. Now I'm saying, after when we knock off at home, we go to the same homes. Sometimes this group is married in this group and vice versa. So truly when you reflect, I think it's been a misnomer where we try and work against each other. We had a meeting with the Zambian breweries sometime here, right? And the issues they raised quickly clicked to me that we needed to address those issues. Because if we address them, we will help Zambian breweries do better. And overall, it will help government partially achieve its agenda. So we encourage a meeting like this, Chair, to come out as a family members and raise issues. You will not be offensive to anybody. But also my colleagues will raise issues so we can then do a checklist of things that we think need to be addressed jointly. And we're good to go. Thank you, Chair.